Good morning and welcome to Main Street TV. It is Thursday and the snowflakes have started falling on us yet again. So there's your weather report for the day. It is officially snowing. We are here today with Debbie from the Bossard Library in Gallipolis, and she has some exciting news on an exhibition that is going on right now, and she's going to tell us all about it. I'm so excited about this one. And so we are going to get into that right after a word from our sponsors.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more, in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
Good morning, Debbie. Thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you.
I am so excited to have you here in the studio.
I'm excited to be here.
So why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about the Bossard Library in Gallipolis and about yourself and your role.
Sure. Okay, well, thank you for having me today. I am Debbie Saunders, the Library Director at Bossard Memorial Library. We are the County District Library for Gallia County, but we also serve constituents even beyond that here in Ohio and even in the bordering county of Mason County, West Virginia. So we're very pleased to serve in that way as the public library. And right now, we have a very special exhibit going on, besides all of our other programs that maybe we'll be able to talk some about today. But this exhibit is Traveling Bricks. And this is an exhibition that is made of over 1 million Lego bricks. Yes, I said that right. Over 1 million Lego bricks. And it reimagines the history of human transportation and the ingenuity that is involved in all of that. And so it's not only educational, but it's also very entertaining because who doesn't love Legos, right?
I love Legos.
So
Actually, you know what?
You brought your Legos.
I was so inspired by the idea that she was going to be coming in. I actually brought a big old box of Legos in today.
Sure. Yes, there you go. So we can play with those here if we get a break.
Our house loves Legos, and 1 million Lego bricks. That's actually more Legos than we have.
Oh yes, and people will tell me that it's funny. They'll say, "Well, I probably have 1 million Lego bricks at my house because my kids were into that." Or
I'm sure we're close.
Yeah. So one feature of the exhibition that people are just loving is there is a 20-foot long replica of the Titanic, all made of Lego bricks. And there you see that. And there's about 250,000 bricks that comprise this Titanic that you see here. And so really, even though I'm so glad you have that picture to show today, but really to see it, you're really immersed in that because there's a musical element to that. You can hear the high seas when you're standing there. So again, this exhibit is very immersive too in that way that you're going to get special lighting and music and just really feel like you're transported back in time at each one of these stations that, as I said, reimagines the history of transportation.
Okay, well, 20 feet. You said it's 20 feet long. Okay, that is almost 4 Cheryls. So that is pretty crazy. When I'm like, 20 feet, that's, okay, yeah. 20 feet. And then I started thinking, wait a second, I'm only like 5'2".
Yeah.
On a good day. And so that's like 4 of me.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yes. And that's just one focal point. There are so...
That's like a 2-story building.
Yeah. There's so many really inspiring, and it inspires you to be creative when you go through the exhibit. I guess that's a good way to say it, and that's what we want. And so again, we want it to be educational, and it is, because you get that whole land, sea, air, and space. You go through all these different areas, and so whichever of those might be your favorite. Maybe you're really into like the space program, things like that. So you're going to be able to see a neat space show. Yeah,
I
right
saw
there.
that photo
Yeah,
online, and that one got me really excited. That
Yes.
one looks so cool.
That is, and again, that's another one that has some audio with it, so you don't get to see that or hear that when you see the picture. But when you go to the exhibit live, and our Carl Sagan there of that, and when you get to see these, there's more to some of these than just what you see on the screen there. So you can see it's very immersive.
Well, that, and once you're there and looking at it, and you realize when you see the picture and it just looks like it's a picture. I mean, honestly, if you look at it from far away, it could just be the space shuttle, right? But when you get up close and you realize that each one is made from a tiny little bricks. I mean, seriously, like the largest brick on there is probably maybe 2 inches long by maybe a half an inch wide or so, and that would be the largest bricks. But they're probably mostly made from the little one by ones.
And when you see each of the exhibits there, each model, I should say, so there's 120 models across 60 scenes in this exhibit, and it's a huge exhibit. So you want to make sure you have a chance to come to that. And at each of those, it tells you on a little placard exactly how many bricks it took to make that particular model. So you'll get a good idea to say, wow, if I wanted to build this, how many Legos would that take? And I think that's interesting too, because it's very hard to eyeball it for me and think how many that would take. I'm always amazed, like, okay, it took 700 to 800 for this small one. Oh, this one took thousands. You know, so
that's crazy.
That's kind of neat to see that.
That is crazy. And I know those large models take an insane number of bricks and hours to build too. I mean,
and they're, these Lego professionals are out there that do this. And I learned from putting this hosting this exhibit. I learned a lot about the whole Lego. In fact, there are Lego professionals. I didn't know that, and I can see why there would need to be when you see the detail and the work that would go into just how professional these models are. They're very exquisite, and I really recommend people coming and just taking advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, no, it's we've been to like Legoland and Legoland up in Columbus. And like my family is huge into Lego, so we're always building Lego sets and things like that. But and you don't realize how much time goes into it until you sit down to actually put together something. So my granddaughter actually started a set the day after Christmas, and it's still like half built on the table because she didn't even have enough time to finish it before she went back home. So she actually has 2 half-built sets in my house right now. But yeah, you don't realize how long it takes to put everything together. But it's so much fun, the searching process of finding the brick and putting it in and watching the whole thing come together from starting with just the one brick to having something that is larger. And when you get into the really big ones, I mean, that is like super impressive.
Oh yeah, just to see the color schemes that's used in the exhibition. That alone, so you have the artistic side, you have the creative side, you have the history side, and we've had some people come through the exhibit that have that engineering mind. I don't have that, but we have people that do, and so they're interested in, wow, how, this angle, or how that went together, or how this special piece must have had to be made, to figure out this particular model. So yeah, there's just all different kinds of interest with it. What kind of, if you're an artist, or if you just simply are nostalgic about playing with Legos when you're younger, or like these intricate sets that you can purchase now. I love the ones that are the floral.
The new ones.
In the stores, the new ones that are like the floral. I love those floral arrangement ones. And then I saw one the other day that almost looks like a library bookstore-ish, and I thought, oh, that was interesting.
I have one and I haven't put it together yet. We have so many sets in the house that we haven't put together. It's actually become kind of a joke in our house because we just keep buying more and more sets, and they just keep stacking up. I'm not sure when we're going to put them together, or even once we put them together, where we're going to put them all, because there's so many sets in our house. But my husband bought me a set, and it's like a personal library kind of thing. And it has a little person sitting in the chair, and it
Yes.
has like the stacks of books
It's probably
behind
that
them and
same
stuff like
one,
that.
yes.
I saw one the other day where somebody actually created the library scene from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
created like the entire library scene with the rolling ladder and
Oh, I would
everything.
love that. Yeah, I collect antique library things, so
People
I would.
are so
I would like that.
creative.
They
I mean,
are,
people
yes.
are so
And I think
creative.
that's the thing. You think about just the design that had to go into these pieces. So there's just a whole element. No matter what your interest is, there's something for everyone at this exhibit for all ages. So sometimes when you hear Lego, maybe not as much now when we see these intricate sets, but for a time you thought, oh, that's a kid's toy. Well, anymore it's it's appealing to everyone, and so you want to make sure you come see this.
Oh, yeah,
free
there's-
admission too.
There's a whole, like the adults of Lego, that's like a whole separate category of people and that are very, very into
Yes.
creating and collecting Lego. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I'm fascinated by the idea that everything is transportation themed in the exhibition. I saw the space ones and I saw the Titanic. But I think that would be really cool. So are there like I would assume there's like cars and trucks and maybe
Yes.
trains. Is there a train?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I love trains.
So there's it
love
just really
trains.
covers those areas of land, and then you see the sea area, space. So in the sea, of course, with the Titanic, among other ships, you get to see. And I like the fact that we do welcome school groups. So if there's a listener out there a viewer that's out there that says, well, that would be a great field trip. If you're a parent or PTO, something like that, as long as you can get to the exhibit, remember, it's free admission for all, and we're welcoming school groups from all over, as far as an hour or more away already.
Wow.
And we just welcome you to come see this, because then you can take that and turn it around to some curriculum in the classroom about this history. Talk about the Titanic and the Viking ship and space and all those different things. And then there's the artistic side and the the engineering side, we'll call it. So there's that. So yeah, we do welcome school field trips. We'd love to have you book.
I would think it would be a great opportunity for Scouts as well.
Oh,
For
yes,
Girl
yes.
Scouts and Boy Scouts
Yeah.
as well to come
Yes.
in and explore the exhibitions.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, talk about engineering and STEM. I know that's a focus for both of those groups.
Absolutely.
And transportation falls into STEM, and so does the engineering and building with Lego.
Yes.
So I would think that would be a big pull for
Yes. For those kind of groups.
for Scout groups as well,
Yes.
or church youth groups, things like that.
We've
So-
booked those. We had one here recently on a Sunday come in. So, that we see all kinds of actually last weekend we had a little boy, he had his seventh birthday, and his family, mainly adults and some kids, came to the exhibit as his birthday party.
I
So
love that.
That was fun.
I love that. I want to have my birthday at a library.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I could think of a better place to have my birthday.
I just had mine the
besides
other
a library.
day at work at the library. I worked that
Happy
day.
birthday,
so
Debbie.
thank you.
But yeah, I think that spending your birthday at a library surrounded by books and the joy of reading and
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
Okay, that would be Eric, if you're listening, I think that would be a really great place
There
to
you
have
go.
to have my next birthday. So I know that I've seen other programs at the library, and it's impressive that as a local library, you're able to bring in an exhibition and have the space for
Right.
an exhibition of this size, because it
Yes.
sounds like the exhibition itself is huge. I mean,
It
there's
is.
120 models.
Yes, there's 120 models across 60 different scenes. So, there might be multiple models in one scene. So maybe it's the land model. You might see maybe a horse pulling a cart or something like that. So that might be
Okay.
just one example. But it's huge. Actually, you start off in one area, and then you follow our yellow arrows over to the huge Riverside room. That's where the Titanic is housed, on that stage area.
Oh, that seems
so
appropriate.
There's so much to see, and it's only appropriate I mentioned that at the end of the exhibition, as part of this, this is something that you can take part in if you would like to. We have a huge Lego pit area.
Okay, I have a photo of that. Adrian, we have a photo of this one.
Yes. Woohoo!
So
Yeah, there we
my
go.
friend Bree,
Uh-huh.
who actually owns our bookstore here in
Oh,
town, she
wonderful.
owns Bookish
Okay,
on Main.
sure.
She took her son and one of his friends down to the exhibition, and she posted this photo, and I thought this was so awesome.
Yes.
That you can literally immerse yourself
You can.
in the joy of Lego, literally.
Yes. So you'll see there, we have thousands of Legos in that Lego pit area. And in the back of that photo there, you can see the smaller tables with the little benches there. And we have Duplo bricks back there for the youngest of our visitors to create. So this is an area that at the end of the exhibit, but as I said, it's in a little separate area at the end. So, if that's not your interest, that's not something you have to do, but we would encourage you to go back there after you're inspired going through the exhibit and go back there and just create. And one thing we're doing too is if people are interested, once they make their creation there, we have an email address you can send that picture to if you take a picture of yourself there with that. And we might feature that as you come into the library for more excitement. And so, we love that area. But again, lots of Legos in our Lego pit. And we're seeing lots of really cool creations there. On Valentine's Day, someone actually made a heart, and I used that on Facebook to kind of plug the exhibit for that Valentine's Day weekend we had. So
awesome.
It's wonderful. And again, free admission.
You know what? When we're looking at things like field trips for schools and groups, or even family outings, that everything is so expensive.
Yes.
Especially if you have a larger family, or even if you have two kids. I mean, even if you have two kids and you go to a museum or anything, you really have to plan ahead for it because everything has gotten expensive.
It has.
Because you have the transportation, then you have the admission, and eating afterwards and everything. It starts to add up. And so if you can bring that cost down in even one area, it makes it affordable,
It does.
especially if you have a large family, because admission is free, and admission to like museums and things, or amusement parks or whatever, we all know that the admission price is always the most sticker shock part of any experience. So if admission is free, you can go spend a couple hours. Probably could. I know that my family could probably kill the better part of a day there. And I would think as a parent, if you have a kid that's into Lego, you really can take them, go through the exhibition, and let them spend quite a bit of time back in the pit.
Sure.
Get a book in the library, or listen to music or whatever. Talk to your friends. Make it a social time while your kids are playing.
We're seeing that. Yes, that's a wonderful point. We're seeing that, and that was a good point you made, because really, one of our main goals at the library is to bring these cultural experiences to the tri-state area, to our Gallia County, but also surrounding counties too, Jackson County and beyond too. And we just want to bring these unique opportunities that people might not be able to experience otherwise. And this exhibition has traveled to large metropolitan cities internationally. So this isn't just something that's traveled in the States. This has been in many countries, and it's right here in southeastern Ohio for us all to enjoy. And through tax dollars, we're able to bring that to you. And so we really appreciate that. I want to say that too. We appreciate the support of Ohioans to Ohio's public libraries, and locally we appreciate that. One other thing that goes with the exhibit that we're so excited about is we're going to have 2 Saturdays coming up here in Gallia County. And because we have the exhibition in our large Riverside Room area, and like you said, it is a large exhibit, we had to move this program off-site, but it's close to the library. It's over at Ohio Valley Christian School Gymnasium, which isn't far from the library. It's over on 4th Avenue, so not far. And we're going to bring in Season 4 finalist of Lego Masters. Paul Wellington is his name, and we're so excited to bring him to Gallia County on Saturday, March 21st. And on Saturday, April 18th, we will have, as I said, Season 4 finalist Paul Wellington, Lego Master, to come and do activities with the community. So that is on our website, bossardlibrary.org. And also on our Facebook page. So I would really encourage you to follow us on Facebook to see all these programs we have, and also on our website. But remember, on those 2 Saturdays, that is free admission and no registration required. We welcome people to come in and interact with the Lego Master and to do some fun activities.
How fun. What time of day is that?
It starts at 10 and it'll run through 4:30.
Oh, wow.
We're going to give him a half-hour break for lunch. We want to keep our Lego Master fed.
That's very kind of you.
Yeah, that is. I like lunch, so I want him to have lunch. So having said that, though, it's broken up into different segments. We'll start off the day for the younger kiddos, and then as you go through the day, there's some things for all ages. We'll have some Lego Derby racing.
Oh, wow. How fun.
The Lego cars. There's going to be build trivia, some challenges, and just fun things. You're going to get to interact with this Lego Master, again, Paul Wellington. So we're so pleased to have someone of that caliber coming to Gallipolis.
Is he relatively local?
Well, what was so exciting, I really felt like this was meant to be because I was looking for a Lego master to come for, while we had this program, this exhibit here. I thought that would be a good pairing. And it comes to find out that he was referenced to me, and he actually is employee, social media specialist at the Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Library. So
Oh my
he's
gosh.
affiliated with libraries too. So it was just like a meant to be
Of course.
situation. So I'm very blessed that that name was given to me. I'm very thankful for that. So he's one of us, a library
He's
person
from
and,
Ohio.
from Ohio,
And
yes.
he's a library person, and he's Lego.
And he's a Lego master.
It's
so-
like the trifecta.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just got to get him some local fare when he eats for lunch, and he'll be right right settled in. So yeah, so he's going to do all kinds of neat things with us those 2 days. So we hope to see lots of you out for that.
that is so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I think our day to go might be that March 21st day,
Okay,
because
sounds
that
good.
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
To be able to interact with him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this or not, but there actually was a junior Lego master out of Athens County.
didn't know that.
He won the build contest up at the Columbus Legoland.
Wonderful.
And his build went to the Lego house
Oh.
in Billund.
I need to make sure I invite him to the exhibit then if he doesn't
Yeah,
already know
yeah,
about
he's-
it. Hopefully he's listening or watching.
I interviewed him. Way back when. Yeah, he's like, I want to say he's like 10 or 11 years old, somewhere in
Okay.
there.
Oh,
And,
great.
And he entered his build into the Ohio contest, and he was chosen to represent Legoland,
Oh, great.
Ohio
Wonderful.
at the International Lego House.
We
So
have so much talent here locally. We really do. When we start talking to people and tapping into that, we really do. So that's great. And another thing we're doing with our local school districts in Gallia County, for third, fourth, and fifth graders, I'm having a contest. So they'll each get a Lego set, the classic Lego set, and they're going to be charged with coming up with their own design and build. And then we'll display some of those at the library, maybe do a little contest with them. So we really want to get our third, fourth, and fifth graders, all ages engaged. But that's one way we're really going to get them, take some pride in what they make as a class and display some of those at the library. So that'll be fun too. That's coming up in the next month or so. So.
I love that you're integrating the education
Yes.
aspect into the exhibition, because we know Lego is fun and it is a toy, and but sometimes we forget that it is very very educational. It stimulates different parts of the brain that you're beyond being artistic. It stimulates the science part of the brain, the engineering side of the brain, and really makes you think of how can I create this with very simple shapes.
Right, and lots of books about Legos too. And we have some of those. So if you're interested in like learning about certain builds or things like that, I'm always here to plug the books. And that's
Because
at the
they are
heart.
a library.
We are a library. That is at the heart of all we do to make sure we promote education, but also these community opportunities and enriching the lives of those we serve. That's what it's all about, working together. And we love working with community partners on things such as that. So.
Speaking of the library, so we have obviously books and magazines, periodicals,
Sure.
other things that you can check out from the library, like your traditional local library would have. But I'm sure that you have other things as well, and other
yeah.
programming in
Yes,
addition to
we
what you
do.
do for the Lego things.
Yes.
So maybe you can tell us a little bit about regular
Sure.
programming.
So one thing that's very popular at our library is our Wi-Fi to go program, and so that's where we circulate the internet, so to speak. So we circulate Wi-Fi hotspots. Those are in high demand. A wait list for those, because we know that in southeastern Ohio, even though there's been many, many efforts to increase broadband, we also know at the same time that there is a need for that in the tri-state, the tri-county, I should say, area. Probably tri-state as well, too, but those we serve really use that program quite a bit. So that's our Wi-Fi to Go program. On Monday evenings, we have a free yoga for class for ages 16 and up, so that's a lot of fun. Just
We
to
love
kinda
yoga. We did yoga yesterday morning. We
Yeah.
do yoga about once a month here in the studio.
Yeah.
We love yoga.
Just to come and unwind, so that's nice and relax. We have children's programming for all ages, so starting from birth to really up through our teens. We have our story time. We have our pat a cake lap sit program for littles. We have an evening story time for those who can't make it during the day. We have book clubs for all ages, and so we have a tween book club, an in-between club. We have teen, and then we have our adult book club. We have our Civil War book club. So if you're interested in joining a book club, we have something for you. So you're welcome to join those. Once a month, we have a adult coloring session where you come in and enjoy fun social conversation if you want. We play music, we have refreshments, and you color these intricate adult coloring sheets. And so, again, that's just for adults, but a way to relax and unwind after a difficult week or just wanting to get some away time. We have those. We do a lot of crafting programs. And so every other month we feature a different take and make craft. And those are really neat. I just want to take a moment to just say how talented the library staff are. Each person on the library staff brings a unique set of skills to the library. I appreciate each one of them. We have a very supportive library board who's very forward-thinking, so I really want to attribute them to helping bring a lot of these wonderful exhibits. I have a rack card here for Traveling Bricks to the library. And I'll kind of go back to that about those exhibits before I go on to some other programs, if that's all right. But this is our fifth major traveling exhibit that we've had at the library, Traveling Bricks. The others, we started off and had the Human Anatomy exhibit, Bodies Revealed.
That's actually pretty impressive because I saw that at a very large
Yes.
science museum in Los Angeles.
Yes,
So
yes.
one of the larger museums in California, I saw
Yes.
that exhibit at. So that's pretty impressive that you brought it to a library
Yes.
in little old southeastern Ohio.
That's right. We get that comment a lot. So thank you for that. We also brought Space, A Journey to Our Future to southeastern Ohio. Now, that particular exhibit was on display at the National Air and Space Museum, the Smithsonian exhibit in the museum there in Washington, D.C. So that was really neat. We recognize not everyone has a chance to travel to these major metropolitan areas. So we believe in bringing it right here to southeastern Ohio.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, then we did Savage Ancient Seas, which was of the late Cretaceous period. Last year we did Animal Inside Out. That was the Animal Anatomy exhibit, and then we're following it up with Traveling Bricks. So we want to see you. Hopefully you've been to all those. If this is your first one, we welcome you to Traveling Bricks. And then back to some of our other programs. Again, I talked about the crafting programs. We do some cookies and canvas, wine painting classes, a lot of those kind of things.
Now, are all these things provided free to the community?
Yes, they
oh,
are.
Wow,
yes.
impressive.
Registration tends to fill up quickly, so follow us on Facebook to learn about a lot of these things, and follow our website, bossardlibrary.org.
We'll put it in the comments, too. We'll put the links in the comments.
Another thing, we have a very robust summer reading program, and I know that you serve a lot more on the station than just Jackson County,
yes,
but I know
we do.
you have a very strong Jackson City Library. Their director is a colleague of mine, and then some of the other Jackson County libraries. I know they do a lot of very good programs too. So we'll shout out to my colleagues there. Back to that. We do a lot of crafting programs, children's programs. Right now we have our adult winter reading program underway, where you can earn prizes for reading. And then in the summer, we'll have our summer reading program with all kinds of programs for kids.
Okay, so I have a question. Okay, so on the reading programs, are they available for adults and kids, or is it just kids reading programs?
Okay, so the adult winter reading program is strictly for adults. We do that, and again, you can earn prizes for reading and have a chance to win some of our grand baskets through a drawing. In the summer, that's open to children, and we take that clear up through teens. So we'll say youth for that. All kinds of neat programs. Prizes for reading. So we really know that, again, reading levels do tend to be reduced or best leveled off if people don't keep reading through the summer months, our students. And so we want to have an incentive and also something very positive for them to do in the summer that's entertaining. Some of the programs we've had at the library or been affiliated with, we know sometimes that's serving as someone's summer vacation.
Oh, yeah.
And we want to continue to maybe have those programs that just spark an interest for people and just have fun coming to the library. That's what that's all about.
Well, we talked a little bit off air is a lot of people don't realize that a library is much more than than the books that are available or even the programming that's available.
Yes.
For a lot of people, it is a warm or cool during the summer
Yes.
space to be during the day. It's a place that people may be able to socialize
Correct.
and meet new people, especially if they're living on their own or
Yes.
they don't feel quite so isolated because they can get out. It's a safe place to be.
Right.
You can access the internet there.
Yes, you
there are
can.
clean bathrooms. You can get information resources. You can get government resources
Oh,
like
yes.
tax forms and things like that. It is a true community resource,
It is.
and it is one of the last, if not the last, truly free community resource out there that is available to everyone.
Yes.
Because you don't have to be a community member from Gallipolis or even a Gallia County resident to go in and utilize
Right.
the library's services or just to have a roof over you for a little while. Because it is a cooling place during the summer.
It
It
is.
is a warm place to be. It's a safe place to take your children if they're off of school because they can sit there and read books or do whatever.
Yes.
You can do the same. You can sit there and read. I know that when I was a young mom, I would do that. I would take my kids to the library and I would grab a book and they would read through whatever books they were reading.
Yes.
And we would just sit there and read for hours because it was it's a safe place to take your children. You don't have to really worry about what are they going to get into, who else is at the library. It's a safe place. The librarians are very knowledgeable. I always love reading the stories online where somebody walks into a library and they're like, I saw a book once and it was about an alligator and it had a red cover and I'm looking for that book, and the librarian goes and finds exactly the book that
Yeah.
they're looking for because
Yep.
librarians are magical. And I think I should have been a librarian. I tell people that all the time. I should have become a librarian.
That might be something you down the line
Maybe
for you.
that'll be like career number 4. I'm actually retired. You
Oh,
can't
okay.
tell right now, but I'm actually retired. But librarians are magical. I mean, they come up with the answers, and honestly, and if they don't have the answers, they will help you find the answers. And I think that is like the coolest thing ever. I mean,
Yes.
they are truly the helpers in our society. So, and they work with other librarians. It's not like it's a competition, like she
No.
was saying. It's
Oh, yes.
her colleagues in Jackson or Oak Hill, or
Oh,
bringing
yes.
somebody from Cincinnati
Oh, yes.
down to the Brick exhibition. So,
Yes, yes.
kudos to our libraries. We love our libraries. Our Jackson City Library people come in
Oh,
once
yes.
a month to talk about their
Yes.
programming.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so we all know we love our library
We do,
people.
yes.
Do you offer services to people that are homebound as well?
Yes, we do. We have our homebound services. So if you qualify for our homebound, we will bring books to you every 2 weeks. You can share with us what your interests are, and we gather up those books, or if it be a DVD, or because yes, a lot of our patrons still use DVDs, music CDs, things like that. We will bring those right to you. So that's a great service. And sometimes we might be the only person that person sees for a period of 2 weeks. So it's nice to have that social connection as well. So we do that. We offer free public notary services if you have a Bossard Library card. If not, there is a small fee, but we do have that. People are always looking for notaries, and our hours are so extensive. We're a good resource for that. And you mentioned like the books. That's always at the heart of what we do, but we also offer books that you can download. So if you prefer to read on your Kindle or your iPad or what have you, you can do that.
Well, I download books. I do audiobooks almost exclusively now. And I download them from the Ohio Library system.
Yes.
So through my card from the Jackson City Library. So I would assume the same type of situation
Yes, we have
from your library as well.
Yes, I think they probably use a lot of the same programs we use. Yes, our colleagues over there are friends. So yes, that would be the case. And again, just our monthly newsletter and our Facebook page and our website tells about a lot of these programs we've been talking about. So if you haven't had a chance to jot those down, that you'll get information on our website about that. Another program I thought if there's time I would mention on Wednesdays, another social program we have in the afternoons is our Needlework Circle. So if you are interested in any kind of fiber art or anything like that, you can just come and be social and work on that, or maybe teach someone who comes how to do that. So that's a good networking thing we have. And then we always have a lot of special programs, be it like history reenactments. We do a lot of special day celebrations. We do some cooking classes. We have a cookbook club, which is a lot of fun. And yeah,
excited.
so just there's so much for you to explore at your library. No matter where your home-based library is, just a shout out to public libraries. And it's very service-oriented. And one thing I always share that I love is above a lot of the original Carnegie buildings, some of those are still out there, there's a plaque that will say open to all. And that's what's wonderful about public libraries is we are open to all. And it's through your tax dollars we're able to keep our doors open and provide these services. So thank you to all Ohioans for that and those who have property tax levies and support those. Thank you for that. And it is appreciated. And we just want to continue to provide you the type of services such as traveling bricks and just all the services that we've been talking about.
So where exactly is the library located, physically located, in case somebody hasn't been there before?
Okay. Well, if you travel to Gallipolis and follow State Route 7 through town, or if you're coming from 35 and you turn on to 35 to State Route 160, and then you follow that through town. Once you're in town, you'll turn off of 2nd Avenue, which is also State Route 7, onto Spruce Street. So the library is located between 2nd Avenue and 1st Avenue, and 1st Avenue runs along the river. Actually, this exhibit, the main part of it is in our Riverside room, so you can remember it that way, but we're close to the river between 2nd and 1st Avenue off of Spruce Street in downtown Gallipolis.
Awesome. Well, I am excited to go to the exhibition and probably to go meet the Lego Master dude, because that sounds absolutely fascinating. And just to be able to see the models in person, the photos, I'm sure, do not do it justice that we've seen online. I mean, you really need to see it in person.
Yeah, those were great images, but you really need to be immersed in the music and the lighting, and just be surrounded by it, because it's really something to see. People are just raving about it. I call it the talk of the town.
Well, like I was saying, my friend Bree, she took her son and his friend down, and we'd already booked you onto the show, but she was just raving about the time that they had there and how much fun the boys had, looking at the models, and then later, like you said, you know, swimming in the bricks.
Swimming in the pit.
Because how many times will you get to do that? Swim in a sea
how
of
many
Lego
times?
bricks. And it was funny because Debbie was on with Matt McKee on WKOV this morning, and he was talking about the are you really a parent if you haven't stepped on a Lego brick barefooted? And if you haven't, you know, are you really a Lego parent? Because we've all suffered through that situation.
If you haven't, you can do that back in the Lego pit. If you feel like you've missed something, come to the Lego pit and step on a Lego.
You know, some people walk across hot coals.
Yes.
No, you need to walk across Legos because.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because my kids would always lose like the little pieces, the little
absolutely.
tiny pieces in the carpet, and they couldn't find it. I could find it. All I had to do was walk, because as soon as you walk and you step on it, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yes. I was telling Matt it's that and Lincoln Logs. Those are the two that get you.
Yeah, because I mean they're tiny and and they get lost in the carpet. So if you ever want to find them, all you gotta do is walk in the carpet.
Yes.
But I'm not sure there would be something more fun than immersing yourself in a giant room full of Lego bricks, and not only getting to see them, but to be able to build with them as well. Oh, excuse me. So remember, spring break is coming up for our kiddos, and so that could give you a day out of your spring break if you're trying to fill your week of what am I going to do with these kids. That is a day you can go down to Gallipolis and experience the Traveling Bricks exhibition and get yourself lunch. And because it's free admission, you can come and go. That's what's great about it. It's not like they're going to kick you out and then you have to pay to get back in, like a lot of places would. So you could go spend some time, go have lunch, come back.
Yes, and there's other...
go see the river, go do lots of things. So there's lots of stuff to do in Gallipolis.
There is a lot of attractions. We have our Gallipolis Railroad Freight Station Museum. We have lots of things. So that's just one of many. So make sure you check out all Gallipolis has to offer.
So that sounds like a lot of fun. And like I said, if you're trying to fill a day during spring break, that sounds like a really good way to do it. Yes. Because they are open until April 19th.
Yes.
So you've got another 2 months, almost 2 full months to go see the exhibition. You're open 7 days a week, correct?
Yes, except for Easter Sunday. We will be open each day through April 19th for this. Now, on Sundays, you can come from 1 to 4:30. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 7:30. I would recommend you get there prior to 7:30 though, because you want probably about 45 minutes to an hour minimally to go through the exhibit.
Okay.
We're not timing you or anything, but you want probably at least that much time. On Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4:30. So that's when we kind of close up for the day as far as the exhibit. So make sure you get there before that. But these hours, again, are on our website at Bossard, Bossard, bossardlibrary.org. You can call the library at 740-446-READ. That's 7323. And again, we're on Facebook. And so, again, you can always call the library. If you have questions about it, especially those thinking about booking groups, feel free to call me at that number. Again, my name is Debbie Saunders, the library director, and some of my colleagues will assist me with that as well. And so, art meets imagination at Traveling Bricks.
I love that. I absolutely love that. So you have almost 2 months to go see it. They have the 2 days that the Lego Master is going to be there, March 21st and April 18th.
Yes.
It's going to be off-site, but you can go do that and then go to the library and see the exhibition as well. I think it's awesome that they're open 7 days a week. If you're looking for something to do after church on Sunday, you can go spend some time there. If you're looking for something to do on a Saturday or even after school, after work, you'd still have time to get down to Gallipolis and experience it. And it's something for everybody because they've got everything from the Duplo blocks all the way up to these amazing models and stuff. So it really is something for all ages to be able to experience. And if somebody isn't into looking at all that stuff, there's other things they can go do at the library because they can pick up a book off the shelf and start reading it.
Yes, and again, the history element will, if you're not into Legos, just following the history of transportation itself, that's just a neat part of the exhibit too. So if you're a history buff, there's something there for you.
Okay, so now I have a question.
Yes.
So who is Dr. Bossard that the library is named after?
Okay, yes. So Dr. Samuel L. Bossard, he was an Army doctor. And he and his wife, Ruby, lived in Gallipolis. And upon his passing, Ruby actually left some money to the library in a bequest to be able to move the library from its Carnegie location in downtown Gallipolis to the current location on 2nd Avenue at that time. And since then, we've built on 2 different times. But that bequest was for the building itself. We don't continue to get funds from Dr. Bossard to state that's over. But it was for the building exclusively, and Ruby Bossard left that, and so the building was renamed for him back in 1978 for that. But we still are the Gallia County District Library, also known as Dr. Samuel L. Bossard Memorial Library. But a shout out to Ruby, too, his widow, for thinking of the library in that way.
That's awesome.
And when you come to the library, we do have pictures of Dr. Bossard and his wife, or late wife, Ruby. And so you can see what they look like and a little bit about their legacy.
I think that's absolutely fascinating. I love the fact that it's community fed and community funded all the way back to the bequest to get a larger building.
Yes.
It's obviously a very large library because you're able to host these large exhibitions.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I have not been to the Bossard Library, so I'm excited to be able to go down there and just check out the library because I love libraries. Yeah. We all know that I love museums and stuff. We've already talked about that like a million times. But I love an exhibition, so we know that I'll be going to the Lego one because exhibition and Legos, it's kind of a given. And it's in a library, so it's literally, it's a trifecta. So I'm excited for this. Debbie, thank you for joining us today. Hopefully you'll come back and see us again soon and tell us about other things going on at the library. Yeah. Maybe we can have you back before summer. You can tell us about the summer reading programs and options that are available for kids during the summer.
Absolutely.
Because like you said, for a lot of kids, it may be their escape during the summer or part of their summer vacation planning. Yes. I know when I was a kid, my parents worked, and so we were limited to on going on vacations and things like that. I actually spent a lot of time at the library doing things like summer reading programs. And so it's a fond memory of my childhood. So
I'd love to. And I should have another bigger announcement upon my return. So look forward to that.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm excited because, the 5, I'm kind of sad that I missed the previous ones, but I get to go to the brick ones and all the ones going forward. So.
Yes.
I'll look at it that way. So thank you again for joining us. We will be right back with Pete Wilson and our headline news right after a word from our sponsor.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
Hey, Pete.
Hi there. How we doing?
We're doing good. What news do you have for us today?
Okay. Well, we've got a kind of like as usual, a potpourri of news, all sorts of information, hard news, soft news, everything in between, sports in there as well. But our lead story, or one of our lead stories that was in the Wednesday paper, I want to mention here from Main Street TV, kind of a difficult thing to talk about, but these things happen in life, and it is news. But a MacArthur man, Cody Prater, age 28, and this was child pornography crimes that was handled by the federal district court. So, talk about, federal level crimes. And anyway, he was convicted of, he was found guilty of receiving and possessing child pornography and A1 generated images of child sexual abuse. Really a lot of work done by him and using artificial intelligence to create and depict images of child sexual abuse. Real sick. But the federal district court and the United States Attorney's Office did put out a news release on that with some of the details. We won't go into it here, but we do have it reported in the paper. And I tell you what, just in the last 2 or 3 years, federal, state, local authorities have done a very good job unearthing some of this stuff. They've been able to track it much better than they used to. And, it gets out there in cyberspace. They can find ways to nail you much more than they used to be able to.
Oh, yeah. Well, at least they're catching them. It'd be better if they wasn't there. But, yeah, at least they're catching them.
Right. Well, okay, now we'll switch to something really good, and that is the Jackson 100 for Good Committee. Of course, and those 3 beautiful young people were on Main Street TV before explaining what they were trying to do. Here is a posed picture that Alex Shope took. He covered their inaugural meeting, which was held last Tuesday evening at the Parks Edge Event Center. And I'm going to tell you who green. From the left, they are Sidney Wagner, Bodie Elliott, Carson Orton, Gabe Elliott, Sammy Elliott, and McKenna Orton. Now, the Elliots are siblings, one 9th grader, 2 7th graders, and the other folks are committee members that, played a big role in helping to organize it and conduct this meeting. But this was the first meeting of this group to decide where these donations of $100 by the committed members, where that's going to go to what nonprofit or local charity. They hope to do this 4 times a year. And, of course, it's predicated on having 100 members donate $100 each quarter. And then they will pick a different nonprofit each quarter. All the money goes to that particular charity or nonprofit. The first nonprofit to get the money will be the Jackson County Homeless Committee.
Very worthy local organization.
Absolutely. And there were 3 candidates. There were Warriors for Christ, which they do a lot of drug recovery work with addicts. And, of course, the Jackson Lions Club, one of our top community service organizations here in Jackson and in Jackson County. And the members end up taking a vote. So if you're a committed member who've committed to giving the $100 4 times a year, you get a vote. You don't have to go to the meetings, but this is your opportunity to weigh in on that since you have skin in the game. And the vote went for the Jackson County Homeless Committee, and they will do this 4 times a year each quarter. And so far, I think they've got off to a great start. As of the meeting, they had 48 members. Since then, it's up to at least 56. So they had, some people come in since then. These are the members and committee members that were there. So a lot of those people standing up and even some of the people sitting down were people, who have donated the $100. Of course, I can't name them all. There's too many people in that picture. But those are people who have jumped forward to give and support this great endeavor by these kids. To me, it's one of the best feel-good stories, that I've covered in a while, that this is happening, and that it was 3 kids that are making it
They
happen.
were so well-spoken, so mature in how they carried themselves and discussed the program when we had them on. Kudos to them and kudos to Mom, because they really had it all together. I didn't have it that together when I was in 7th grade to be able to carry myself like that. So
I can't imagine them, taking that on. I'm sure they're getting, maybe some help from adults and like that. But, they are the ones who are out front. And I want to emphasize this, even though this has started and they had their first meeting, it's not like it's too late to become a member. They are pushing to get to that 100 mark. And it'll be a while before the next quarterly meeting. So hopefully they'll get close to that 100. So the question is, will the Jackson County Homeless Committee get 10,000? They can't, because the money isn't there.
Yeah.
But and also, when you make a commitment, they don't collect the $100 immediately. It's just like a pledge you need to follow through. So all that's going to depend on the actual money. But they expect, I did message them and they got back to me, they expect the Homeless Committee, they fully expect them to get about $5,500, and that is a great windfall.
that is an amazing windfall for that committee because I know they struggle with fundraising. And shout out to the community partners. The Jackson County community has really stepped up and embraced this whole idea on a very short time period. The kids came up with this idea at the beginning of the year and made it come to life by the middle of February. But community partners like Faith and Fitness and Sixth Sense Brewing and Parks Edge that stepped up, and Parks Edge provided the space for them to have their meeting, and there's drop-off points where you can drop off your checks as a sponsor locally. The community really did embrace this whole idea of the support for Jackson 100.
You're right, there really has been a very good coming together, and there's certainly a lot of room for that to expand. We're hoping that with all the Facebook posts that they do on the Jackson 100 for Good and the publicity that we can give them through Total Media and anyone else who can help spread the word, that it will just continue to grow this year. And they do a very active Facebook page, and so you can check in and see how they're doing. You can see how you can give. You can read once again how they're doing this, what the concept is, and where you can drop off a check. And so it's just a wonderful project.
So if you were kind of on the fence and you didn't know how it was going to go and you wanted to see how the first one went, this is now your opportunity. Get in touch with them and become a sponsor, or see if there's another way that you can help them out.
Right, and this is a way to find. It's like there's so many good causes, charities, service organizations, and like this. This is kind of like a community-based one. Probably each quarter, some different group will probably get it, I'm guessing. I don't know what the rules are about repeat or whatever, but it's just if you have in your heart to give to something, but just don't know how to do it or who to give to or how much, this is all set up for you.
Yes.
So great, good luck to them, and we will have hopefully a detailed story in our Saturday paper about this first meeting and where they stand. But it's just an outstanding thing they're doing. Okay, at the last meeting of the appreciation reception of the Jackson County Economic Development Partnership, Jeremiah Shaver wrote a very detailed 3-part series about the good things that happened and that were announced there. And part 3, which was in last Wednesday's paper, was about their James A. Rhodes Leadership and Public Service Award. This is their top award that they give, in addition, giving all the things that they've done to promote economic development. This year, the award was given posthumously to the late Phil Bowman. Phil Bowman was a local businessman. He owned and operated Waterloo Coal Company. He did a lot of real estate development downtown. He owned property. Very active in the Jackson County and in the state Republican Party, doing things through the party to try to help the community as well. His sons, and they are in this picture here that Adrian has put up. His sons, Denton and Bo Bowman, accepted the gift or the award on behalf of their late father, who just died a couple years ago. And other county commissioners and economic development people are in that photo as well. But Phil just did a lot behind the scenes. He was not a guy craving for attention or anything, but he did a lot behind the scenes. He cared very much about Jackson County. Everybody agreed, but he did it in a quiet way. And even though, regrettably, this had to be posthumous, still, it was noteworthy. So that story was in our last paper, and we wanted to acknowledge it here on Main Street TV. Of course, we all know that the teaching profession is very important. And a group called the Coalition of Ohio Rural and Appalachian Schools, with the acronym CHORUS, they have regional meetings once a year where they honor school employees. It isn't just teachers, but in this case, all 3 school districts in Jackson County had a elementary teacher honored. And we recently had that article in the paper, but these are the 3 women who teach at our local elementary schools in Jackson County who received the honor this year. From the left, they are Amy Grigsby, who teaches kindergarten at Jackson Westview Elementary. Then you have Wanda Gill, who teaches 3rd grade math at Wellston Intermediate School, and then Stacy Atkins, who teaches 4th grade math at Oak Hill Elementary School. So we want to congratulate them. The award, even though it was a regional award, it was obviously based on recommendations from, other local teachers and administrators who know best what they do. So congratulations to them. Everybody knows that teachers are important, but individually they kind of toil, and when they get this kind of recognition, especially the rank and file teachers, it's definitely worth spreading that news.
It's always nice to be recognized by your peers.
Right. Congratulations to them. Well, they had the first Lenten luncheon, Cheryl, yesterday at the First Baptist Church. I dropped in on that. It's always very communal, very friendly. It's an ecumenical thing. 5 different churches organize it. The First Baptist Church of Jackson is the host. It's always been there. But this is the 38th year that they have done this.
Wow.
I think they might have missed the COVID year. I'm not sure. But it's always the same format. They do it in an hour or less, so it's good for the working people as well as the retirees and the people who have more free time. But they have a very nice buffet, finger sandwiches, fruit tray, veggie tray. They have some delectable desserts, and then, of course, they have some hot soup because it's still winter. That's right. Kurt Wiggins on the left and Mike Gambino on the right. The reason they're working is because they're members of the First Presbyterian Church of Jackson. And as members of the First Presbyterian Church of Jackson, that was the church that handled the program and the food service for the first Lenten luncheon. Other churches that will do it in future weeks in order will be the Jackson First Church of the Nazarene, Christ Church of Jackson, the Trinity Chapel Church of Christian Union, and the Grace United Methodist Church of Jackson. And the person who did the devotional this time was Gretchen Crabtree of the First Presbyterian Church. There she is. She and her husband used to live in Wellston. They now live in Jackson, always very active in community affairs. They're current members of the First Presbyterian Church of Jackson. Gretchen used to be the fiscal officer at the Jackson City Public Library. And Gretchen, I tell you what she did. She did a program on Mother Mary, all right? These are biblical characters. That's the theme this year. And she actually sang part of the time.
Oh, wow.
It was a cappella, and I respect anybody who can get up in front of a group and sing a cappella.
Yeah, that's not me.
So, no, congratulations to her. She held her tune very well. But these will go the next 4 weeks as well, all the way through Wednesday, March 25th, lined up with Lent. Of course, Easter Sunday falls on Sunday, April the 5th. These are absolutely free, Cheryl. They do take a free will offering, and from the 80 people that were there, they got $399.
Awesome.
Right, $399, and that will be divided among 3 public service groups: the Jackson County Homelessness Committee, the Jackson Ministerial Association for their special projects, and the Jackson Food Program, a.k.a. the Food Pantry. So once again, happens at noon every Wednesday, the next 4 Wednesdays, at the First Baptist Church of Jackson, 35 Broadway. That is right next to the Jackson Public Library.
You get lunch. You get to socialize with other people.
That's another benefit for sure.
Especially, we get a little isolated right now, especially during the winter. It's a a chance for you to force yourself to get out of the house. But you get to, hang out with other people, have lunch, socialize. You get the devotional. You can talk about the devotional. And also it benefits the 3 local charities that we all need a little bit of extra push.
Right, exactly. And speaking of charities, I've been trying to get this on one of our shows here for more than a week because there's just so much that has to be said that's time sensitive. But they had an excellent charity event at the Jackson First Presbyterian Church not all that long ago, their annual Groundhog Day
I was
brunch.
there.
I did not get to go.
I know, I didn't see you.
I regret that, but Greg Irvin, who is a good guy, retired health commissioner, member of the First Presbyterian Church, he sent me some pictures and info, so we were able to do an article in the paper. But that's Jackson Jack the Groundhog handing off a check to a representative of the Jackson Food Pantry because they raise money for the food pantry. That's why they do this. And it was a check for $2,103.
Awesome.
See, because when you go and get the pancakes and sausage, it's free.
It is.
All right, but there's a free will offering, and obviously people are pretty generous because they know what it's for. But the thing that I'm always impressed by, and I assume it was the way this year, you can confirm or deny, I've never seen so many toppings for pancakes that they throw out there.
There was
Deluxe
whipped
pancakes.
cream, there was fruit toppings, there was chocolate chips. There was a lot.
Absolutely.
There was a lot going on. There was maple syrup. There probably were other syrups too. I had a big old pile of whipped cream. There was sausage. Once again, it was an opportunity for us to socialize. I actually met somebody I'd never met before and have since become friends with this person. So I'm always meeting new people, and because you never know who you're going to meet. She was just sitting there knitting, and we started talking, and now I'm Facebook friends with her. But yeah, the food was good. The fellowship is good. The music was awesome. Mary Elizabeth was
they give
was
you
on
free
the-
entertainment there while you're eating.
Was on the piano. There was a
That was Mike. That was Mike Morgan there.
Okay.
Who was on his guitar. He is a very talented songwriter, actually. He does the music, and Jeff Elliott, who we know is a lyricist, and they work together, and they've actually had many songs that have been accepted in Nashville on the
wow.
country and gospel side. So, top-notch entertainment.
They had
as
Bill
well.
Murray's Groundhog Day, the movie, playing on one of the TVs.
Right.
Yeah, something for everyone.
And you saw Greg Hogue with the Steve Evans sausage, and
Yep.
see, there's a play on words. That's the ground
I know.
hog.
Okay, so this is funny because, I never know, coming from California to Ohio, and they said it was groundhog breakfast, and I'm like...
Oh, you're thinking you're going to
please,
get it, right?
I said, please tell me we're talking about ground hog and not groundhog. And they're like, well, you just never know. And I'm like, I know that I'm not eating it unless I know if it's ground hog or groundhog.
Well, I tell you what.
But it is ground hog.
Right. Steve Evans sausage, actually. I tell you what. When I was very young, but I do remember this. My dad was part of an outdoor club in Meigs County, and they did an outdoor camp along the High River, fishing and hunting and like that. And I remember we had a meal of groundhog. I was probably about 4 years old, but I do remember it. And I tell you what, it's a lot like roast beef.
Okay, I'm going to take your word for it.
So, I know you've talked about some pretty weird food. So
Well, okay, you know what?
Don't prejudge.
Okay, the Pawpaw Festival guy was in like 2 years ago, and he was talking about the fact that he had hunted groundhog and made groundhog sausage and stuff out of it, and I was like, yeah, I'm out.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Sorry, Mel.
Obviously a good cause there.
I've named the groundhog on our property Mel.
Okay.
So sorry, Mel.
Right. Well, I certainly wouldn't do away with a groundhog. They look pretty cute to me, and they've got as much business to live as anybody, right? But anyway, congratulations to the First Presbyterian Church. That's a project that is going back a number of years. And when the original organizers stopped doing it, it was an individual businessman. The church picked it up as an annual project.
I think it's so fun. I mean, it's just,
And they didn't have much luck with the weather.
Well, that's actually the most impressive part of their donation to the food pantry, because if you remember, it was scheduled, and then we had that storm, and they had to cancel it and push it back.
And it was worse weather the next Saturday, but they did it anyway.
But I mean, seriously, to get the word out that it was moved, and they had a good turnout, and to be able to raise the money. So, and there was a good turnout. The room was full when Eric and I were there for breakfast.
Yeah,
So-
that was very good. And by the way, the groundhog that was there in the groundhog outfit, that was Greg Irvin himself. So he helped me on the publicity, and he played the part of the groundhog,
Yes.
Jackson Jack.
And we've had him in. We always have the groundhog in the studio, and we had Nancy from the food pantry
A
to talk about
talking
the food pantry.
groundhog, right? That's a
I
real
know.
plus
Crazy.
for
That's-
our TV ratings.
That's crazy.
Right.
So, but yes, so always fun. It is Thursday. I'm going to assume it is still snowing outside. We're expecting to get like an inch or two or something like that of snow. So please be careful out there. If it gets icy, and my phone has not pinged to tell me that we are on a snow emergency, but yeah, if it gets icy out there, you know that Sheriff Ted will put us into safety mode. But in the meantime, drive slow, watch out for other cars, watch out for pedestrians, look out for each other, and we will see you back here tomorrow morning with some special guests and other information, and our good friend Pete Wilson. So we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.